To introduce Keith from British Airways, who has got some exciting updates to share with us regarding flight options to Singapore. So for agents which visit this destination regularly, it's going to be a great chance to refresh your knowledge. But also if you've just started to add this destination, then it's a perfect opportunity to learn some more. So let's kickstart today with Maria.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Singapore. I am the manager for Northern and Southwestern Europe. My name is Maria, and I will drive you through a little bit of an exploration into Singapore. Singapore is a city-state, just three city-states in the world, one of them being Monaco, one is Vatican City, and the third one is Singapore. It's a tropical island, very green. You can see here the map. It's more or less double the size of the Isle of Wight in terms of size, but it looks very different with hundreds of hotels and attractions. There are 63 islands. In fact, this is the main one, but there are many more. Sentosa Island is another one, but many more. Some of them are inhabited, some of them are not. That you can use them for excursions with yachts or ferries. 63 islands, 4 nature reserves just in the middle of the island. The newest being the Birds Park. 300 parks in Singapore, so you can have excursions, hiking, cycling, segways, anything you can possibly think of, all scattered around the island. And it's right in the middle of Asia. So from there, you can use it as a hub, as a basis, and you can go anywhere in Asia very easily. Keith from British Airways will tell you more about how to do it. Maybe you want to consider a stopover on the way to Australia, or maybe just Singapore as a destination on its own. Um, Moving on to discovering a little bit more of Singapore, we can have a look at more content um, about what's happening these days in Singapore. If we would like to move the slide down, we are going to discover how multicultural Singapore is. So there are 4 different ethnicity groups in Singapore, and the Chinese descent is the majority, so Singaporeans of Chinese descent, and then you will have Malay, Indian, and Caucasian, because it was a British colony, and in fact is still part of Commonwealth. So English is one of the official languages with a small inflection, so it's called Singlish. But it might reassure many of your clients, so you get there, and no language barriers. The population, at least in 2014, the last official one was 5.39 million. Now it's a bit more by all means. And it's a tropical island, so it's always summer there. Average of 30 degrees, although there are hottest months, May and June, and coolest month, December and January. So 4 seasons by all means, but they are hot, hotter, wet, and wetter. It rains, but not for long, and the sun shines again. You might want to use your umbrella as a parasol, in fact, uh, like the locals do. And it's right on the equator, so very hot and humid. Now I'd like to show you a short video so you see how Singapore looks like. Um,
Welcome to
and it's all
Singapore,
made in
where
Singapore.
things are made a little unexpected.
You will arrive at the airport. It's a different kind of airport, this is. This is Jewel. It's the latest edition. The coolest one made 4404. It's a big dome and right in with nature reserves, excursions for all the family, depending on what you're interested latest one. Nothing is there, just a massive net. Nightlife, very vibrant. Best for tour, very popular this one. You have your own driver, you will be in a sidecar. Many might recognize this landmark as the Infinity Pool, Marina Bay Sands. Different kind of museums. This is all popular. And then on to parties. At Swansea, massive one in September, Formula One. Food, so many options. And more showtime at Gardens by the Bay, lights and sound show, twice a day, tours available to attend this spectacular May. Excellent. The uncle managed to snap the claw. Going back to a little bit more on what's on the island, here you have a snapshot of just a selection really of attractions. So you'll be landing at Changi Airport on the right hand side, east tip. You see Jewel, there are 4 terminals, and Jewel is in the middle, and then a short ride, like 30 minutes, 30 minutes by taxi, or you can take the bus or the tube. Very easy to get to the south tip. Marina Bay is where the Singapore Flyer is, or Gardens by the Bay, and the southern one is Sentosa. And then you'll see all concentrated there, the cultural quarters. You will have Kampung Glam, this is Arab Street there, Little India, and Chinatown. You can have a tour that includes all of them, or you can choose to do themed days. So that's why you can spend a long time in Singapore and not get bored. The natural parks are up in the center, north center. So you get the zoo, the nice safari, river wonders, and birds paradise. This is just a selection of things in Singapore, and we can dive into the multicultural heritage. As I mentioned, it's a melting pot. And Chinatown, for example, this is the Buddha Tooth Relic Temple, just one of the landmarks, and you will have shop houses there, mix of old and new temples and wet markets. Now it's the place to be. It's almost the year of the dragon, so all lit up with red lanterns and things. But it depends what's happening along the calendar. There will be events everywhere. So you have Little India, for example. There will be Diwali. There will be celebration in all corners. In Kampung Glam, you will have the Arab Quarter. There is a mosque as a landmark at the very end. You can see it, and Katong, very colourful Peranakan culture, which is a mixture of Chinese and local that was born long time ago, and it's one of the peculiarity of Singapore. After which, let's see, we have more of the islands, and we have a city in nature. As I mentioned, it's very green. So the idea of Singapore being skyscrapers, just because that's what comes up when you Google Singapore, it's a misconception, really. The island is very green. There are skyscrapers, but just like we kind of revolve in London, just a small part of the city, the financial district is a very different scenario. It's all green, and you have Gardens by the Bay you've seen in the video, but also MacRitchie Treetop Walk for an excursion. Singapore Botanic Gardens, very important. It's UNESCO World Heritage Site, and there are many gardens part of this Botanic Gardens. I would recommend the Orchid Garden for us Europeans. It's like thousands of orchids there. It's quite unique. Birds Paradise is the latest one. I've mentioned it before. You see it in the video. Sanghi Buloh. It's a very alternative of Singapore. You can trek through it and you can see otters, kingfishers, and sunbirds. So, not to be missed for those who like nature. Pulau Ubin, an island that you see at the north, very peculiar also. It's not even inhabited, just a handful of people live there. Here again, you can see from Changi to the city center, 30 minutes ride. And I just want to point out there are two cruise terminals. The main one for big ships is the Marina Bay Cruise Center, Singapore. The other one, the Singapore Cruise Center, is for ferries. You can take your ferry to the islands, and you know there are 63 of them, so there is a choice. And Sentosa is linked via a bridge, so very easy to get there with monorail, cable car. You can even walk there. So this is the island in a snapshot, and you can consider it for cruise passengers also, flying with British Airways, of course. The food reflects the multicultural Singapore that we mentioned earlier. You can see here a few of the main ones you might know as peculiar of Singapore. Laksa, for example, you will have in many menus, even in London. And then for the adventurous one, fish head curry, maybe. There's no Singapore noodle there, if you notice. So there's no such thing as Singapore noodle, at least not in Singapore, but you'll find it here. So Oka Central Culture is UNESCO heritage. By all means, going up the scale, you will see that one of the stores, it's actually Michelin star. So it doesn't come with a big price tag. It's still a few dollars, and there will be a long queue, very worth following. And 55 establishments have been awarded Michelin stars from 1 to 3. Here, just a selection of them. Any type of cuisine and fusion, and from center food, from street food to Michelin stars, there would be plenty of anything else in between as choices for food. Nightlife, rooftop bars are a must. Quite a few scattered along the island, many along Marina Bay, as you might understand, and one of them is on top of Marina Bay Sands, is C'est La Vie. You can go up directly with a very swift lift, but also Smoke and Mirrors is in a museum, or Mr. Stork is on top of a hotel. Level 33 is a microbrewery. And Clay, so along the islands during the day, you might think it's a normal street, and at night it will just come alive. Dempsey Hill, Hunting Hill, Clarke Quay will lit up, and you will find drinks and food and entertainment 24 hours. Not that all the island will be open 24 hours, but at some point, some parts of the island, at some point there will be something open. That's why you will be able to do things and maximize your time there. So rooftop bars and bars in general a must, because 11 of them have been listed in 2023 as top 50 bars in Asia. Here you have again a small selection. Atlas, for example, it looks like the Gotham buildings for those that like Batman movies. So look at the barman. It's like so small. That is a tower of gin, and one of the bottles in there, I hear, has been recovered from a shipwreck. So if you're lucky enough and you make friends with the barman, they will take you up the stairs and show you the secret, the bottles, the most expensive ones. Native is foraging ingredients in the island. Manhattan is known for whiskies, for example. That's their collection of whiskies, and many more though are available in Singapore, awarded as top 50 best bars in Asia. Moving on to more content. I know that you might not sell these hotels, but just for you to know that these are the most recent one, and more will open this year. So for any information about hotels, please let me know, and I will fill you in with the latest opening or refurbishments. So that's me, and that's Singapore in a nutshell. This is my email. Feel free to take a screenshot for this and contact me anytime. You can find more information through our social media channels like Facebook, Instagram, or our website has got a lot of information. And I hope you liked the content of this presentation, and you will consider Singapore for you, your friends, and suggest visiting Singapore to all your contacts and customers.
That was brilliant. Thank you so much, Maria, for all that really useful information about Singapore and what you can see and do. I've been lucky enough to visit Singapore myself, but it was only for a few days and I definitely needed longer. What would you say is the most ideal amount of time to spend there to cover all the attractions and things to do?
Everything, it will take you weeks. I'd say if you stop over en route to some other destination, at least 2.5 days minimum. I really, you would otherwise regret it. You would say, oh, I wish I was staying for longer. 2.5 days, but I would consider this as a final destination, really. 1 week, and I'll help you fill it in the itinerary with everything you're interested in. We'll find the latest. So
Yeah.
5 days.
But it's easy, you know, the transport links into the city are so easy that if people are on a stopover trip, then it makes it just really easy to go in for a couple of hours and see parts of it, doesn't it? So that's really good.
By all means.
Yeah. So next I'm going to hand you guys over to Keith from British Airways, who's going to explain how easy it is to access Singapore with BA.
Keith, you're on mute.
Classic. Hi, everybody, and welcome. Just to give you an introduction, my name is Keith Laban. I'm the Key Account Manager for British Airways, managing the relationship with our partner, Lime. Just going to touch on schedule. As you can see from the slide, we're double daily through our winter schedule and we're double daily for our summer schedule. There's some changes. So currently, up until the 30th of March, we're servicing the route by a 789 Boeing and a Boeing 777. Come summer, from the 31st of March through to October 24, as you can see there, we're still servicing the route by a 789 Boeing. However, we're also replacing the 777 with the A380. This increases capacity by around 45%. So summer's bringing a lot more opportunity to go and for your clients to go and visit this fantastic destination. Across the fleet, we've got Wi-Fi now, so if you want to stay in touch with everybody on the ground while you're making your way to Singapore, you can. Alternatively, you can enjoy our fantastic in-flight entertainment. So moving on to the next slide. Just going to give you a real quick snippet of the 4 cabins we've got that once you're on board to Singapore. So starting with our World Traveller cabin, which is our economy cabin, you'll have inside entertainment, complimentary delicious meal and snack service. Your bar is complimentary. Also, you get a check bag of 1 times 23 kilos, and of course the hand baggage that you can take on board also. Moving on to World Traveller Plus, which is our premium economy cabin. This gives you a much smaller cabin, wider seats, priority boarding when you're at the gate. Again, delicious meal and complimentary bar once you're on board. And also you get an increased baggage allowance of 2 times 23 kilo, which is another key benefit. Moving on to our business class cabin, which is Club World. Got some exciting news to share on this cabin, which I'll share in a moment. But currently, you get with Club World, you'll get a dedicated check-in and fast track straight through security, access to all our lounges, so our gallery lounges in Terminal 5. We've got a Whispering Angel lounge in Terminal 5, so plenty of choice there from a lounge proposition. Once you're on board, global cuisine is served, complimentary bar service, which you would expect. The fully flat bed, which is in your control. So push of a button, you can be in a 6'6" flat bed. However, if you wake up in the middle of the night, you want to watch some of our fantastic entertainment content, you can press a few buttons and be a bit more upright to enjoy the entertainment. Now, the exciting news I want to share in this cabin is BA continues to invest and innovate, and we're making a huge investment into this cabin. So currently we're rolling out what we call our club suite. So currently we're over 50% embodied on our long haul aircraft out of Heathrow. And the exciting news is on the 777 to Singapore, the club suite is embedded. So this is our new business class cabin. Some of the key USPs, you get a 6'6" bed now, so an even longer bed to enjoy and rest in, 17-inch screen. You get a privacy door, but the most important thing, or I think one of the big step changes from Club World to Club Suite, is all aisle access. So we go to a 1-2-1 config, which is a big step forward for us. So really exciting news, and I really urge, if you are booking your customers into World Traveller Plus, always offer the upgrade because it's an amazing product. Last but not least, we've got our first class cabin. So this gives you a personal suite on Singapore on the 777, and we've only got 8 seats in first, so it's really private. A la carte dining, so you dine when you want to dine. Free Wi-Fi once you are in the cabin. Before you board, you can access our exclusive Concorde room, and this is exclusive to first only, and it's an amazing lounge. Upon arriving at the airport, I should have mentioned at the beginning, you get access to our first lounge. So our first lounge is exclusive to the first class passengers. You walk in, you've got your dedicated check-in area, you walk straight to your own private security, straight through security and into the lounges. So you can miss the hustle and bustle of the airport. However, of course, you can leave the lounge and go shopping as you wish. Other USP of first is you get 3 times 32 kilos baggage allowance, as well as obviously your carry-on bags. Last but not least, I would like to just touch on our loyalty program. So we've got the exec card program, which allows you to move up the tiers, and there's a whole heap of benefits, which if you reach out to Lime, they'll be able to give you more of an insight in. But also, whilst you're flying, you'll earn Avios, which can be redeemed for a whole host of things. That's just a real snippet of what you can expect on choosing British Airways to fly to Singapore. Thank you for your time, and back over to Kirsty.
Thank you so much, Keith. That was really great to hear about all the British Airways updates, and you're certainly making it easier now for people to visit Singapore, which is excellent news. So we now have a short video. It's our final video, just with some more information about this amazing destination.
Welcome to Singapore, a hidden gem delivering an experience unlike any other destination. A vibrant city in Asia, Singapore seamlessly merges modernity with cultural richness without losing its commitment to green spaces. Evident in places like the UNESCO-listed Singapore Botanic Gardens and the multi-award-winning Gardens by the Bay. A sanctuary for nature lovers and budding horticulturalists alike, with over 101 hectares. Diverse neighbourhoods such as Chinatown, Little India and Kampong Glam offer a tapestry of experiences, while Singapore's hawker centres serve up delectable local dishes. It's so simple to visit Singapore. The city centre is easily accessible, being only 30 minutes from the airport by taxi or by public transport, with everything in this city-state conveniently within an hour's drive from the city centre. Just another reason why few cities can match Singapore. Your customer's journey will start at London Heathrow, where they will board a British Airways A380 aircraft and relax in a choice of 4 cabins. World Traveller, designed with comfort in mind. World Traveller Plus with a more spacious journey and a quieter environment. Club World as the perfect upgrade where your customers will enjoy premium extras at every stage of their journey. Or Luxurious First with their own stylish suite, exclusive access to lounges, fast-track security and excellent service. Friendly and experienced cabin crew will take care of everything during their flight, leaving them able to sit back, relax and enjoy excellent complimentary food and bar service, plus the latest in-flight entertainment. Booking your British Airways flight to Singapore with Lime comes with many perks, from the competitive fares and DTC exception to dynamic packaging abilities and dedicated account management. Plus, until the 20th of March 2024, every booking you make to Singapore via Lime will give you the chance to win some fantastic prizes, including restaurant vouchers and gift hampers. Flights to Singapore with British Airways are ready to book via Lime, so what are you waiting for? Book today and help create lifelong memories for your customers. Singapore, where the ordinary is made extraordinary.
Brilliant. So before we finish today's webinar, I just wanted to let you all know that we're going to add the webinar quiz link in the chat, and you will have until Friday the 12th of January at 5 p.m. to complete this, and you'll be in a chance of winning one of 4 £100 dining gift cards or Amazon vouchers. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening in today. A big thank you to Maria and Keith for the really informative information about British Airways and Singapore as a destination.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks. Bye.